Well, physically it's changed a lot. I mean, we added about 10 to 12,000 square feet. Some of that's behind the scenes stuff like new mechanical room and new mechanicals, and then there's some additional storage space, and then of course the new bubble, the new living room, the meeting rooms. We've seen, we went from student organizations to literally having about 250 square feet of space now to they have a whole wing of a building, which is great.
It's definitely come a long way. Back 4 years ago, it wasn't really used at all except for maybe 11:30 to closing when Club Main Bowl, quote unquote, was a thing. Now there's always people here all the time, playing games, studying.
I think it's changed a lot. I think the new restructuring of the Student Center changed a lot of the different offices and how it kind of feels with the whole open concept.
Well, before it changed, it was a smaller place, obviously, and it was kind of darker, and now they've definitely brightened it up, and they've added a lot more space to it, and there's a lot more capabilities that it has. It has the bubble again, and the food options are a little bit different, and it's just very updated, and I think it was a great change. It was a great place for people to be able to come to, and they're utilizing the space well.
It changed dramatically. I think it's a newer building. It provides a lot of areas for students to engage. The use of the living room, the use of the pub, even the bubble encourages students to meet up, either study or engaged in activities with one another. So I think we are doing better in terms of utilizing the space that we're given.
Well, student engagement in the Student Center is it's way more active. The good thing is students are using the space, and it's really hard to get meeting rooms. It's really hard to get function rooms because the demand is really high. So we are very excited about that engagement, and we're happy with. And we've seen a lot more programming in the building. I think we're up to about 110 programs in the academic year, which is a huge increase. Instead of doing maybe 3 a week, so maybe we were doing, I don't know, maybe 50 or 60 a semester. Now we're in the high, we're probably doing 70 to 80 a semester. So it's been really good.
I think when we change our names to student programs and engagement, it's pretty much speaks for itself. I think we want to put on great programs that engage the community and the students, is to provide a space where students can feel like it's their living room, that they can go hang out. If they don't have anything to do on campus, or if they don't want to go party on campus, they can go to the Student Center and there's always something happening.
SP&E, we're really here to help the function of the primary source is to develop students into leaders, and then to get students involved in different functions on campus, whether it's through programs, whether it's involved in a student organization, whether it's through leadership. And it's just to build leaders and to kind of build that camaraderie and that connection to Bentley through different functions and events and organizations. And that's really what we want the Student Center to be. We want it to be vibrant, we want it to be fun, we want it to be active, we want it to be engaging, we want it to be exciting. It's really supposed to be the living room of the campus and one of the hubs of the campus.
It's just like a casual place that everyone can come and you can study, or you can play pool or ping pong, meet your friends. It's just like a cool space that anyone can come, and there's always someone here.
I love the living room and the bubble because it's a new place for everyone to study, and also it's kind of the midway point of campus, so you get to see all your friends, and just seeing everyone here. It's a good place to chill and catch up yet do work, so it has both kind of vibes in it.
I would say I now with the new Student Center, I like all the study rooms that they have.
I really like that it's a place on campus that it doesn't necessarily have an academic feel to it. It's just a place where people can come and hang out, or they're also able to do their work, but it's just really a meeting point on campus.
Honestly, just the vibe it brings, all the natural light in here is just makes it feel alive, and then all the people, not necessarily during finals week, but other times, there's always people playing games and stuff like that. It's a really good vibe.
It would have to be a tie between the open space and natural lighting and the chairs that go 360 degrees. I highly value the chairs going all the way around. When I'm spinning in a chair, I don't want to be stopped. Also, that it's very close to Seasons. I can go get food very easily.
I feel like it's a place for everybody to come together, and not only that, but when I'm bored in my room, it's somewhere I can go to see all my friends. You have Seasons, so you go down there and you can have some good food and you can eat with your peoples.
There are two that I have, so I'll share both. So the one is about 8 years ago, we had this event group. We had a employee group on campus called Badass, and it was to run programs called Bentley After Dark as surveyed by students. We would close the entire building at like 8 o'clock on a Friday or Saturday, and everybody would have to line outside on the 3rd floor, and the capacity for the event was about 1,500, and we would let people come in, you know, one at a time, and they could go anywhere they wanted to in the building and partake in anything. And then they would leave out, and as people left, more people would come in, and the line would go all the way up to Rhodes. We'd have 2,000 people waiting to, you know, we'd have 600, 700 people waiting to get in after the first 1,400. You know, I like the daytime programs because it's the most unexpected. Everybody expects night programs.
I really like the building. I think your environment really affects how you work. I like how we have different rooms for different functions. So we have this, obviously the meeting rooms to do meetings. We have the bubble for student organizations or students to study if they choose to. We have the living room where we can do open mic nights or just hang out by the fireplace or play pool and ping pong. I like the pub because it gives options to students to not go off campus to drink. So I really like the space. I think it's conducive of being open and collaborative, but also giving students the opportunity to engage with one another. So that's what I really like about the Student Center. Favorite memory? Eating in 921.
My favorite memory is probably honestly going to be working here. You know, I've worked here for 4 years, and you know, I've met a lot of good people, and you know, I've shared a lot of good memories, made a lot of good friends. You know,
The pub on the weekends is always a good time. There's always pretty cool music. Gotta get your late night, of course.
Oh, when there was like that drum group that came, like, oh shoot, I think it was like Tuesday, active period. And it was like they're just playing all the drums. That was pretty legit. I think Breakfast by Moonlight is always nice. Seasons, it's always a classic.
Freshman year when we had Club Main Bowl, that was probably the best time of my life in Student Center.
Well, I was here when it was still the old Student Center and the pub was different. And honestly, just those nights in the pub where people were playing music and everyone was dancing and it was so natural and fun, that was definitely some of my favorite memories.
Probably the newlywed game that happened, like, I think it was around Valentine's Day this year. Because like it was fun seeing like everyone with either like their roommate or their best friend like competing and like testing to see like what they knew about each other. Like me and my roommate, like we did it. So yeah, I think it's like a good time to like bring everyone together.
The acceptance day for like other students. I like seeing like all the new faces here and like answering their questions and etc. It's just like it feels like a good experience.
So right now, I don't think we'll be doing any additions. We just went through a big addition in the last year. But I will say we're always making changes. So I think we just conducted focus groups in the Back Bay rooms, in the Back Bay lobby in the fall, and we've submitted some of from that feedback, and we interviewed about 90 students from all different parts of the campus to talk about it. And I think we are really just trying to figure out what would be the best case scenario for like what should become of that space, what should become of the lobby. It's really kind of a lost space now because now the rest of the building's been updated. So I would say in the next year and a half, we'll be looking at that space and really kind of making some changes, really good changes down there. And then we always tweak things around the building. I think we'll be looking at the usage of the living room, of the bubble, of the Russo's Cafe, and what changes can we make there to make it a little bit more vibrant than it is now. But there'll be more subtle changes for those locations.